I think to a lot of you, as some of, if people have been following the exchanges, I see a lot of consumers now going on to exchanging and buying power. But that's very, very few. Open access today, and the central government is really struggling with it, has not been implemented in spirit. But to some extent, that also comes in from the distribution end, which I'll address in a moment, saying if we think it's going to be a market which is going to be open to consumers, and the intent of the Electricity Act was that, we still have some way to go before we can really implement that. Most of the IPPs, a lot of the smaller IPPs are actually now getting structured as captive, because that's the only way they can, actually address something called the cross-subsidy surcharge with the utility stake. I'm sure some of you must have realized this, and since I'm sitting in the southern of India today, we need to probably also see the balance of planning that's happening. The southern region is also looking at a clear deficit of power going forward. Andhra Pradesh probably would be safe because you have a lot of gas plants happening. You look at the transmission investments, the southern region actually has very, very minimal investments coming up. You also have probably the least of capacities that are coming up. So even if there's a huge capacity building in the country and there's going to be a surplus in other regions, there is not enough transmission capacity being planned to get the power here. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are states which are reeling under power deficits today. So somewhere I think if CI can help in that, it's something which probably somebody needs to address and actually look at it very seriously. Distribution affects from a payability point of view. Finally, if you people are checking the markets and you talk to some people who are selling in the markets today, and some of you as IPPs you must be realizing there is certain power which is today going unsold, in spite of having many, many hours of load shedding in a number of states. That's because as IPPs, I'm sure you realize, the utilities will hold the key. If they want to load shed and not buy the power, there is nothing that you can do that sell this power. So somewhere, the awareness of consumers, the awareness or the demand of consumers to be supplied 24 hours good quality power is going to drive some of the market in the regulated distribution portion of it. This issue comes basically saying, how is the service obligation defined? Today the service obligation is defined more as saying, okay, I will give him a connection. But is the obligation, even if let's say the power is available at 2 rupees or 3 rupees in the market, are they under an obligation to ensure that they buy and not load shed? Is anybody implementing that? Good question. Maybe all of you can tell me who. I know a very interesting instance which Maharashtra has adopted for 9 cities that they have. They've actually have an additional charge which 9 cities have voluntarily taken up, saying we do not want load shedding. They actually pay an extra 50 to 70 paisa per unit, saying please get us power and we don't mind paying that extra power, but we do not want load shedding.